If you didn't know, ladders in Minecraft can break your fall, like this. In Bedwars, this is a big part of the meta for clutching, gaining high ground, and even making plays. So I played 100 games of Hypixel Bedwars while ladder clutching, and this is what happened. In the first game, my first rush was against green team. While I got some good high ground on him, I tried jumping down to void kill him, but I ended up voiding myself instead. I reset at base and geared up to go back and fight him again. I missed a small clutch, but I ended up killing him and going to his base. I played around a bit and got a little bridge clutch. I had to kill green again so I could get his bed, but while I was running away, I panicked and got myself killed. I went back to his base and missed a 5-block high clutch, but I ended up getting a clean combo to eliminate him. Next, I ran to gray and used my ladders to get level with him to fight him. And I killed him, but then I struggled jumping off this piece of wood. I went to go get his bed and I missed another ladder, but I was able to destroy his bed and final kill him with the help of the void. Shortly after, yellow came to the base and cleaned me up, but at least he said nice try. I was able to take out my side opponent on the first attempt, which was pretty nice. People in the game started to realize my nickname was Ladders and they knew I was a YouTuber, and even guessed I was Sammy Green. I made my way to gray's base where Pink 2 was camping out waiting for me to do something. I ended up jumping down to see if I could clutch, but I missed and ran away to the top of the base where I ended up knocking Pink down to gray, and surprisingly he killed gray. I was able to clean up the kill on Pink and get gray's bed. Gray tried to fight me, but for some reason after the first hit he started running away, giving me a free final kill, so I mean, I'll take it. At Pink's base, I placed the TNT and tried to clutch in the midst of the explosion. It did not go too well, but I was able to break his bed and get a nice final kill with only half a heart remaining. I then went to go get some diamonds for my diamond generator, and I was out of blocks and I had a TNT, but I didn't think I was ready to TNT jump yet with ladders, but I ended up giving it a shot. The TNT jump went well, but I missed the ladder. At least I was able to get his bed though. I went over to gray's base where I tried to clutch on a slab for some reason. Luckily green was there and I was able to final kill him, getting the first victory. Oh, and then I told the players who I was, and they had a little bit of a reaction. At the start of game 3, the first rush wasn't going to plan. I died, I tried clutching on flat land, and then I died again. Green and I had many fights and nothing was really happening. I kept dying or I would miss simple clutches, until this fight where he started towering straight up on my bridge and I used my ladders to get to his level where he dropped down and I was able to kill him. And after that fight he ended up rage quitting, which was pretty nice. Next I got myself 4 diamonds and bought some sharpness to make things easier. I went to the middle to collect some emeralds for diamond armor, but I realized red was at his base alone. With my stone sword I made my way over to red's base where he greeted me with a nice fireball, and shortly after I was able to final kill him and I bought a jump potion with the 1 emerald that I got from middle. I arrived at Pink's bridge where I drank a jump potion, but yet again I was greeted with another fireball, but I did clutch. He threw another fireball and then he threw a third fireball, so I went ahead and dove onto him, knocking into the void, and I was able to get his bed. I played around with the jump potion in the air and clutching on his bed for some extra practice. And then I made my way into his base where I was able to secure the final kill. The last team was Aqua and I saw him in middle. I didn't want him to get obsidian, so I ended up killing him and he ended up giving me 4 emeralds. I built up pretty high at Aqua's base, but I did not use my ladders for some reason to clutch. I tried to encase myself in his bed, but he hit me 2 times, forced me to run away. I managed to escape, finding a stack of blocks hiding in my inventory that I don't even remember getting. I took this time to go to Yellow's base where I healed up, got prot 2, and even got myself a little ender pearl. For some reason Aqua went to middle, so I took advantage of him being gone from his base and got his bed. I was able to find Aqua inside of Blue's base where I surprised him and flawlessed him and able to get the win. Game 4 didn't really have much going on. I rushed over to my side opponent Aqua and went to the top of his base where I jumped down and got a nice high clutch. I ended up fighting Aqua and killing him, allowing me to get his bed, but then he killed me in a close fight. I did make my way back over to his base where I was able to eliminate him. I went to go get some diamonds, got some sharpness, and made my way over to other bases. I saw Pink and Gray have not rushed each other yet, but Gray had a bridge to their base, so I chose to go for him. And yeah, I got fireballed. I went back to Gray's base and I knocked Pink towards the bed and he placed a TNT down, so I was able to get the bed. And after that I was able to get a final kill on him. Afterwards I was able to take out Pink pretty easily, and I guess he didn't want to fight me. I entered middle where I saw red disconnected, so that yellow was the last team alive. I caught yellow at his diamond generator, so I went over there. During the fight I only hit him 2 times and he disconnected. I got his bed and boom, free victory I guess. During games 5 and 10 I spent the games practicing my clutches from higher up, and I surprised myself. I was able to hit most of these clutches pretty easily. I went to the top of Blue's defense, and even though I didn't have the tools to get his bed, I still tried to clutch. I was able to get the clutch and get his bed with only half a heart remaining, and that was Blue out of the game. I was heading to middle and yellow met me there, so I used his blocks to clutch. I was gonna run away, but I decided to fight him, and then my ladders killed me, so that's great. I went to go get Aqua's bed, but Green and Aqua were literally cross teaming. I was able to deal with the cross teaming, and I pearled to Aqua, and with my jump potion I got some crits and ended the game. My first rush was disconnected, so I went to Gray and placed the TNT, and I can't defend myself on what just happened. At red I used my 28 blocks and 2 stacked up and hit a really high ladder clutch, but red was super laggy and I knew it was going to be a problem trying to take this guy out. But I ended up doing it. White was running to my base, so I tried to catch up to him and stop him, but he got my bed and I was able to hit a really nice clutch and I started running away. But it didn't take too long for him to eventually catch up to me and kill me. I started with a nice island clutch and I started to feel like I was getting better at ladder clutching from a high distance, until I saw White bridging over and I built up to my tower and I was going to show him a nice clutch, but I failed, and then he literally bullied me. Game 11 was interesting. I played around with the ladders on the bed defense, and I quickly realized that they are not too good for the bed defenses. Good thing my side rush kept using his knockback stick, so it made it easy for an elimination. At this point, the game was going by pretty quick, so I made my way over to Green's base. I saw Pink making his way over as well, so I waited for them to engage so I can get into a better position. Pink wasn't really doing anything, so I went ahead and got Green's bed. Pink tried to clean me up, but I just used the outer edge of the island to my advantage, and I was able to kill him. I was going around middle practicing ladder clutches instead of using blocks, but this time I literally forgot to press the spacebar and I died. Games 12 and 20, I really tried to focus on my speed with clutching and my movement around the mouse with the ladders. I also went for some TNT and fireball ladder clutches whenever I got the opportunity, and I successfully did land some, but I still wasn't really comfortable with them. During the 12th game, I helped Green get my bed by accidentally opening up my bed defense, but I was able to just one tap him off. I saw Green in middle and he was a little more geared than me, so I took the advantage of the tree in front of me and used my ladders to climb up, and then I landed this nice clutch on his bridge. I then was able to get his bed, and then I was able to use the diamond sword to take out Green pretty smoothly. Red was the last team and I was building a really nice jitter bridge, and then I landed a quick 180 ladder onto his island topper, and then I was able to win the game. This game someone said in the chat that White was hacking, so I immediately went to go break his bed. But then he ended up getting eliminated by the accuser, so I'm not really sure if he was hacking, but who knows. At Red's base, I realized he had mining fatigue, so I went ahead and placed down a TNT on his bed. Red took my TNT and tried to use it to come and kill me, but instead he kind of helped me. During my first rush on this game, I was able to land my first really good TNT clutch. Oh, we did it. In the next game, I was back on Acropolis once again. I killed my first side rush and I went for a super worthless but easy TNT jump, and it really didn't go too well. Luckily, I was able to flawlessly combo Red when he came back to my base, so I guess it made up for the fail. When I was collecting diamonds around middle, I only had around 18 blocks, but I wanted to see if I could somehow get to Yellow's base. Surprisingly enough, it was a perfect amount of blocks. Nothing really happened during game 19 besides this pink guy riding the pig up to his death, and then me 3-tapping Gray. Game 20, I hit a bridge clutch, which was really cool. Took my ladders up to kill Pink, had a really intense fight with Aqua, and then swept Yellow. So the first 20 games are done, and I feel like everything is going well. I could definitely start seeing some improvement with my ability to use ladders, and I feel like I was starting to get good with them. During this game on Skyrise, after I lost my bed, I started going for some risky things. I jumped off this bridge to clutch. I really didn't have to do that, but it worked out, so I'm not complaining. Now let me just say, I'm really proud of this play. I saw Green was worth the final, so I used my fireball to jump to him, hit him off, and clutched. And it looks like he was a bit confused on what just happened. Blue was coming at me, and he was also worth the final. I faked him out, placed a couple blocks, and eliminated him as well. Game 22 was hectic. I started to get really good at hitting these TNT clutches. I only had 6 blocks while I was heading over to Blue, so I TNT jumped, landed the ladder, and I broke the bed. Blue was camping out at Red's base, so I made my way over there, but for some reason Pink ran right past Blue, so I avoided him really quick. I continued my way to kill Blue. Pink and I had a little bit of a bridge fight, and then I used my TNT to jump to his umbrella, and surprisingly I landed it. Sadly, he disconnected, so he was already out after I got his bed. I saw White running across the bridge, so I took my shot at a cross map fireball, and I literally barely missed. He instantly asked what star I was, and it looks like I'm 48 stars. I made my way around in middle, saw White was gearing up at Pink, TNT jumped, clutched, and won the game. This first game on Lighthouse was my first game trying to clutch on one singular block. It was not easy, let's just say that. I missed my first jump, and I even missed the second jump when the ladder was already there. Thank goodness I'm good at placing blocks because that helped me eliminate this Aqua team. But then again, I went back to being bad. This game on Cliffside, things started to look a little better. I got a nice high clutch while diving down into Aqua's bed, hit this clutch onto Pink's bridge, and got a clean final kill. I got Red's bed and built up just to try to get some more practice on the one block clutches, and I managed to do it and win the game. First off, I'll let you guys just watch how I eliminated White team. I learned to aim my mouse a bit lower when trying to clutch because ladders don't place under you, they place in front of you. Just a little tip. Block placements are literally everything during PvP, especially in Bedwars, because it is super easy to give yourself some time by just simply stopping someone's sprint like I did to Blue and got his bed, and then I final killed him. Game 29, I hit a nice clutch and got this yellow guy super low, and he just tried to run away, so I just yeeted him off the map. Game 30, I bed traded with Red after a really awkward first rush encounter. I hit a clutch on Gray's bridge and eliminated him. I then was surprised by Pink. Oh no. I cranked some 90s on him that he really didn't expect. And then to top everything off, I ended up final killing him in F5. Now that I pretty much gathered enough skill with the basics of simple clutches, it was time for games 31 through 50 where I spent those games TNT and fireball jumping. Yes, I spent 19 games only focusing on explosion clutching. I really didn't care if I got any wins, I just wanted to hit some clutches with the TNT and fireballs. Now for these 19 games, it wasn't that much of a challenge because I have pretty much learned all the basics with the ladders and how to use them. The only challenging part was just making sure I could make the jump from the distance I was trying to TNT or fireball jump from. Fireball ladder clutching was definitely a lot more fun than TNT ladder clutching because with the TNT you have to wait a couple seconds before you can jump, but with the fireball everything felt super fast paced. For most of these games, I tried to play on a fast generator map so I could get a bunch of fireballs and TNT no matter how many times I failed. Honestly, I was pretty surprised though because I really only had 1 or 2 times a game where I'd fail a jump, sometimes even none. And now that we are halfway through our 100 games of ladder clutching in Bedwars, I can now say that I'm pretty proud of myself on my ability to ladder clutch. At this point, I can definitely say throughout the 50 games, ladders have improved my ability to be quick, clutch, more precise, and use them in PvP to get advantages on my opponents. Games 51 through 70 were spent doing the same thing but backwards. I also played around with some 360 clutches as well. These games were just for fun, but it was still kind of difficult locking down the aim when trying to clutch, spinning, and going backwards. Game 51, I landed 3 back-to-back 360 clutches while making my way across the map. Game 54, I did a backwards fireball into a clutch on top of Green's base, placed a TNT, got his bed, but I ended up dying. At least the clutch was kind of cool though. 60, I hit a high 360 clutch and got a clean final kill onto my first rush. Game 62, I saw this gray guy had a bow, so I just full sent him and rushed him and took him out. Just stop using bows, please. Game 68, I backwards jumped to white space, used my 2 fireballs to get myself up to even grounds with Pink, and I flawlessed him into the void. At Pink's base, I side clutched on his bed defense, killed Pink, got his bed, and won the game. Game 70, I used my fireball, I jumped backwards, and I clutched. Yes, I could have used my blocks, but doing this, it made it look cooler. During games 71 through 85, I ladder clutched after moonwalk bridging. I learned how to moonwalk about a few months ago, and it took me over 1 month to learn. I have not perfected it yet, but I can usually get around 20 blocks or so before I fall. During game 71, I couldn't really get any clutches after bridging, sadly, but I did end up getting this 360 kill on green, which I thought was pretty cool. Game 74, I hit my first moonwalk into a ladder clutch, which I was proud of. I then got myself geared up with a diamond sword and I was ready to fight. I was going to final kill Pink, but then he spawned in 4 bed bugs, which I was definitely not prepared for, so I ran away. Luckily, I was able to send him on Fiizy Airlines into the void. Game 79, I lost my bed pretty early. I was able to flawless white and use the diamonds for sharpness, which helped me eliminate him. Thank goodness, because he was pretty sweaty. I used some emeralds I collected at middle, got some diamond armor, and an invis and jump potion. At Gray's base, I used my jump potion to get fast high ground, and I started moonwalking into a clutch. Thankfully, I used my jump potion because it really helped me fight off Green that was trying to third party, and Gray that had a KB stick. Game 81, I was able to moonwalk from my base to Blue's base, and successfully clutch, kill him, break his bed, and get the final kill, which was very nice. Game 85, I moonwalked to the Diamond Island, clutched, moonwalked all the way to Blue, clutched, got the bed, and yet again, it was another AFK player, so it was an easy final kill. I do really wish they weren't AFK because it would have made the clip so much better. And here we are at the final stretch, games 86 through 100. For the last few games, I wanted to try to learn possibly the hardest mechanic you can do in Hypixel Bedwars. I don't know the exact name of this mechanic, but I just call it the block ladder clutching because essentially what you do is you place a block and a ladder at the same time. You either have to butterfly click or double click to do this. During game 86, I tried to get a feel on how I was going to do it, timing the clutch with a double click or butterfly clicking. At the diamond generator, I was able to place a block and a ladder at the same time, but I barely missed the ladder, so I did take some fall damage. But shortly after, I was able to do the clutch for the first time ever on the bridge, but that was too easy. We needed to go a little bit higher. During game 87 on this fight against Green, I have no clue where my hits were going. Like, honestly, if you guys could tell me, please let me know in the comments. Also, in the next fight against Green, I stopped him from going on the TNT and jumping past me, and I landed this nice ladder clutch after the TNT exploded. Game 88, I was able to land my first ladder block placement from a reasonably high distance. Game 90, I was able to land another clutch while making my way to Aqua's base. And honestly, I was starting to get better at them. When I got to Aqua's base, I was so close to landing another one back to back, but my ladder placed on the wrong side of the block. But luckily, I was able to take him out. Right here, I did not only do 1 clutch, not 2, not 3, but 4 ladder blocks in a row before I took out this Pink with a flawless combo. In game 95, this funny fireball kill happened. Also during this game, I hit my highest ladder block clutch, which was pretty cool. Game 97, I was able to get a really nice double final kill at White's base, and I really don't know why Aqua tried to dive on me when he had half HP, but I'll take it. Game 100, the final game. I really didn't want to focus on ladder blocking in this game. I really wanted to have some fun with the ladders and do some tricks I learned throughout these 100 games, and I sure did have a lot of fun. I hit an easy clutch and used my ladders to get up to Pink and was able to kill him and get his bed. I moonwalked bridge into a clutch going over to White's base, got a really strange double final kill. They were both really laggy. I backwards fireballed to middle and got a nice clutch, and I really couldn't find my way up these ladders. And finally, I took out yellow with my ladders, saving me from any knockback, and there it was, a victory on the 100th game. Now that I have finished all the 100 games, I am proud to say that I am really happy with how everything went. To think that in game 1, I was missing the easiest ladder clutches, and to fast forward 100 games later, I was doing clutches that I never thought I'd be able to hit. I definitely will continue to use ladders in my future Bedwars games because they are honestly so fun to use, and they bring so many benefits to the table and little to no cons. And guys, this video took me over a week to make, so if you could, please drop a like and make sure you guys subscribed. That would literally mean the world to me. Anyways, what you guys just watched was my progress of ladder clutching in Bedwars for 100 games. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.